Don't you just love it when people say they listen to you, but they're actually not listening to you at all? Well, in case you do, I've just got the right organization for you, which is the European Union. You might remember that last video I talked about unanimity on tax questions within the European Council. And I also told you that the European Union launched a consultation process in order to explore what it's going to do on this particular matter. So for those of you interested in the detail of what the question was, you can watch my last video. Today I actually want to more precisely address this consultation process and how representative it actually is, in my opinion, for the consultation process as a whole. The European Union is faced with a lot of criticisms as to how it functions democratically. So politicians are out of touch. People don't feel like they're represented by these people. So as a result, the European Union also launches consultation processes on a number of questions. So when it has an idea as to launch a directive, it launches also a consultation. And on a website, you can fill out what you think as an individual citizen. You can fill it out as an organization, a think tank, an academic organization, NGO, whatever you are, you can participate. This consultation process is very interesting, of course, because it was launched because by now I think the Commission is doing it regularly to launch it before any project for a directive is launched. But it did so just before the Christmas time, and many people were completely unaware of it. And it was set to expire on January 17th, but as one of the testimonies actually points out on the website is that the Commission already announced it was going to release a memo on what to do on January 15th. So before people were even done giving their opinion, the Commission was already launching a memo, and that just shows you how much they're really interested in the answers. Now, the Commission launched a memo in which it gives you a roadmap of what it wants to do on taxes. It explains that it wants to give the opportunity to the European Union to introduce new taxes and its own taxes, such as the digital tax, taxes in an aspect of public health, such as taxes on alcohol or tobacco, and so on and so forth. Also, carbon taxes, climate change related taxes. It also wants to harmonize taxes, which eventually will lead to higher taxes for European consumers and citizens. But when I look at the actual consultation process and what actually came out of it, it was a very limited time period where it was actually open, but still 31 answers were collected. And I went through the answers, and it turns out that out of the 31 given, 7 answers were basically non-answers because they were more the analysis of the problem, or it wasn't visible exactly what the person wanted, or more of a balanced answer. 9 answers in favor and 15 against. So just from the people who participated, you think at least the European Commission should at least address in the memo that people were against it. By most people who participated were actually against it. But it doesn't do that at all. Quite in contrary, and I'll link the memo by the Commission down below. It actually says that for 26 years, the procedure of unanimity in the Council was used as an excuse for inaction and unnecessary burden, unnecessary barriers. I think something like this. You can read it down below. Which is fascinating, because for the longest time, when people criticize the European Union and say, "Oh, I don't think it makes much sense anymore to be a member of this organization, given how it operates and what it does," the pro-EU side always tells you, "Well, I mean, there's democracy in the European Union. You can vote different parliamentarians in," and then you say, "Well, but my parliamentarians are not numerous enough, and they will never constitute a majority," and say, "Yeah, well, you are still represented in the European Council. So if you change your government, that also changes EU policy." And now, when they are facing opposition, when they are facing vetoes from individual member states on tax questions, countries such as Ireland, for a long time the UK, Malta, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, then they say, oh, look what an unnecessary burden for our jolly great project and integration project that we want to push forward. So I just see that they treat democracy with contempt. They don't like you having a say whatsoever. When they say about you being involved with your voice, they mean if you are there to confirm them, in that case, you'll be welcome with open arms. But if you oppose them, then they will give you no platform and opportunity whatsoever to do so. The consultation process of the European Commission is a farce. It is there in name only, and it has no value whatsoever. If you believe that the European Union is there to ask your opinion, you are mistaken. But that's just my opinion. Do let me know what you think, and see you next video.